What's up, everybody? Thank y'all. Sorry it's so late. Uh, been trying to get everything caught up here around the house and get this live uh, started. Can y'all hear me? I hope you can. Um, Man, has it been hectic, guys. Hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Uh, I know it. I know it's been stressful. Believe me, do I know. Um, Everybody in my household's starting to recover from being sick. Hey, Prissy, Penny Pincher. Hey, Graham E, Georgina, Stoliker, Whiskey Boots 19. Just roll with it. Rhonda Rodriguez, Kim Holmes, Mimi Jean, Millie RN. Forget Me Not. Brianna, thank you. D. Bonnie Bailey. Thank you, guys. If I forgot anybody, it is not on purpose. Hey, Angel Eyes. Yvonne T. I'm trying here. Aunt Missy. So, will you cover some of your last video? I couldn't read it. Lola. Okay, are you talking? That's basically what we're going over anyway. So, if you don't know what we're talking about, Good Friday, there was a Virginia State Trooper, former Virginia State Trooper. He had just been hired at the Washington County, Virginia Sheriff's Office, which is 45 minutes away from Hawkins County, where Summer Wells went missing. I'm not saying these two things have anything to do with one another. I'm just telling you, how close it is. Since the beginning of Summer's case, we have seen officers get in trouble in Hawkins County, Sullivan County, Tennessee, for crimes, SA crimes against minors, or attempting to. The sheriff's son of Hawkins County. And it had been happening on a regular basis, the years leading up to Summer's disappearance. But it's always been kept on the hush. Now, if you guys had not seen the live me and Allie had done, it's been quite a few months ago, but I had showed you guys some statistics from a study of the number one crime across the nation that officers get in trouble for while wearing the badge. And can you guys does anybody know? If you have an idea of what that crime is, please put it in the chat. Because and the reason that there's not very many case studies is because, no, not domestic. Close, Laura Stevenson's life, very close. It is crimes, SA crimes against minors. And the reason that there's not very much information on it is because sheriff's departments do not want that kind of thing putting a blemish on their department, letting these officers' crimes put just making them look bad whatsoever. So what they usually do, instead of pressing charges on we'll just say said officers, whoever that, and this is a nationwide study, by the way, that got those statistics, and I'll try to pull those up for you. The live that's from, I think it is basically titled that. It was just, I just wanted to go over because it was mind-blowing to me how many officers there is that have been fired yet let go for crimes, SA crimes against children. It's insane. So, like I was saying, though, instead of the department pressing charges on set, they just let them go because they don't want it to hit the media and be talked about. They just let them go. So that officer can then go to a neighboring county or town, whatever, whatever it is, and get rehired. It's crazy. So back to what we're going to be talking about tonight. So this officer, this guy just graduated the academy. His name is Austin Edwards. He had graduated the academy in January of 2022. He then goes and, he gets hired with the Virginia State Police, which is very prestigious. You get hired with them. People usually, officers retire. They make a career. They sit right there because they have opportunity, if not to retire from the Virginia State Police. That's a stepping stone straight to be a federal officer if that's what they wish to do. Right. So it's just crazy. He resigns from a spot with the Virginia State Police in October of 2022, October the 28th, 2022, and gets a job for the Washington County, Virginia Sheriff's Office. So he's still in his orientation period, right? He was hired November the 16th, 2022. Anyway, this guy, while in his orientation period, let me take a step back. He catfishes a female juvenile, finds out her address, drives across the United States from Virginia to California, Riverside, California, San Bernardino County, where he then parks. Hey, guys that are coming in, I'm not ignoring you, and I will get to the chat in a minute. I just don't want to lose where I'm at. He then parks when he gets to this young girl's, this minor's home. He is a current officer now, mind you. Parks in a neighbor's driveway, where he then goes in the home and unalives the young girl's grandfather, grandmother, and mother, where he then stacks their bodies in the front of the house. I can't think of the word right now, but like where the front door would be, and then stages and sets the house on fire and leaves with the juvenile girl. We're gonna go over. We're gonna listen to stories. I'm just giving you a rundown of what we're gonna be talking about. I have these pulled up. Allie will be in here in just a few, but we might be turning the camera off. I don't know. Probably not. I think it's better than you guys can see us, and I like to be, I like to be transparent, talk to you guys, and I don't think looking at an icon on the screen is very interesting. I mean, that's just me. Foyer, there's the word. Thank you. Just roll with it. Okay. Let's see here. Before I move forward, let me look and see if there's anything in the chat that you guys are talking about. How could that happen? Let's see. Yeah, guys, if you don't care, before we go any farther, if you wouldn't mind to put your touch DNA on that like button, we would greatly appreciate it. We don't ask for much here, if anything at all. We just would like you to hit the like button. That's it. Guys, we appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you, subscribers. Thank you, members. Thank you for going that little extra step and becoming a member here. When we don't do a lot of members only content, we try to when we can get to it. But we're trying to cover cases and give our 100% to everything that we do. Summer's case has been very mentally and physically exhausting. on trying to look into it when we were going out and search. But that's nothing. I would do it over and over and over again because that little girl deserves it. But, you know, it is taking a toll on, I know, many people's lives. So I can't even imagine her brothers. And, you know, right now, regardless of what our personal beliefs are, we don't know who did what in that case. We don't know who's responsible for what. Yes, we know that there were a lot of issues dealing with the parents and things that a lot of us don't agree with. I'll be the first to admit that. But, you know, till then, you know, that these are Summer's family. So I know from just being on the outside, me and my wife, and how it's, you know, this case has been, you know, very draining and emotionally, physically, like I said, it's been hard. So, you know, we try to, what my point is we try to give 100% in everything that we're doing. I'm not going to bounce around to cases and only be able to give a bare minimum into it and then it's over with. As important as those cases may be, and I'm very happy that they get solved, Summer's case has not been. And we have seen that there's not been a lot of effort into looking into things, in my opinion. Now, people might have a different opinion, but in my opinion, there's not been a lot of effort made. So before I lost my train of thought. Shoot. You're making me so nervous standing there. You're making me nervous. Like,
I'm not looking at you. I'm trying to come over there. Actually.
Well, I'm going to play the first video before I can approve. We're in a very small cubicle here, and it's like it's very tight quarters. Let me see here. Yeah, you know, that's what I was getting at too. Seth's Mayor. You're not the one who said that, but oh my gosh, you are making me so uncomfortable, Allie. I feel like she's sitting there, just two eyeballs or staring. When y'all are all watching, but I can't see you. I can see her and feel her eyeballs on me. No, this Summer has touched a lot of people's hearts, and she's empowered us to go above and beyond our comfort zones and do things and look into her case that, you know, people would normally not do. I know that we never thought that we would get involved and be able to be a part of search and rescue, you know, just things of that nature. So, guys, I just wanted to say thank you before we move forward. I just really want to say thank you, guys, for that, for the support that you've given me and Allie. You know, there's been times that we've wanted to give up, throw in the towel, and just be done. But we owe it to Summer to not give up. We owe it to the people that do believe in us, that know that we do put in the research. You know, we've had help here and there, but me and Allie have really, you know, we do our own research here. We really try. If we're wrong about something, I'll be the first one to tell you that we're wrong. I'll be the first one to tell you that, I made a mistake here. This is what it was. But never have we purposely ever wanted to say something wrong or mislead anybody. That's not what we're about. And believe me, as much as people want to try to paint us in that, you know, with that brush as being people with no morals, not a no moral compass whatsoever, that is false. That's just a lie. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all that know differently about us and know that we are, you know, we are coming from the best intentions and trying to, you know, be led. Let the Lord lead us. You know, by no means are we perfect. I fall short daily. But I try to give 100%. Thank you. That's all I'm gonna say without being long-winded. Um, Let me get these clips ready and pulled up. Oh, thank you, Georgina. She says thank you too for keep going. It's so appreciated as we're all here for the same, bro. Thank you so much. Oh yes, keep the hope alive, man. Thank y'all so much. I'm gonna go through and just read what y'all are saying. Hey, hey, Penny Pimp Daddy, never give up, keep hope alive. Dwayne Vance, I like your background. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Bonnie Bailey. Let me see. Allie, quit scaring poor Cam. I'm behind. Hey, dazed and confused. Gosh, it's like when I don't come on and have a live in a while, I get just as nervous. It's like I forget everything that we've we've done this for a while. And when we started just with a tablet, and we've been able to make it hopefully look a little more professional as we've went. They don't want the money at all, never did, nor asked, only that Don wanted to extend it to help find his daughter. They want nothing to do with it. Um, I have never, that's one thing I will say about the parents. I've never once felt like they were trying to get that reward money. Now, do I feel like there might have been some things asked with like people that were doing home repairs that were definitely something you wouldn't ask? But I don't know. I think there was a little bit of manipulation and stuff from them on parts. Yes, I do. And it bothered me, and spoke out about it. But I don't know. Maybe it's the first time that they had help like that. I don't know. But I just, like I said, having a moral compass. Some of the things that I heard Candace, not Dawn as much as Candace, ask, like build Dawn a garage outside. I'm like, you have buildings out here that y'all can fix up. I mean, you've got multiple. You don't need a brand new garage. You just need to maybe fix what you have up. Um, I don't know. This case really has been crazy. That's one thing I wanted to touch on before we get into the stories, or to the story, the official news story about this officer. Um, the amount of people that have passed away that were surrounded, talked about, named in Summers' investigation, the amount of people that have passed away, I don't understand. There is no way that that's coincidental. No way. I mean, if you think that is something normal, better yet, let's do it this way. If you think that is highly abnormal and strange, that let's see how many people we have. Jerry McLean, who passed away from what was said an OD. Now, he worked with Don. Don had actually, kind of blamed him, or I think said that he could be a possible suspect. He had passed away. You have Marlena Crawford's father, Rick Crawford, passed away. Breonna Tester passed away. Leslie, that was on the porch when H was interviewed by Chris McDonough, has passed away. Mary Sexton, who is Don Wells' stepfather's sister, so I guess she would be step aunt to Don, lived right behind. She's passed away. Who else am I missing? Allie? Yeah, Leslie. So we said her. Jose. Yep. I mean, Jose didn't say Jose. Who else? Who? I said Jose's a big one. Yeah, Jose's a big one. I'm trying to think who else. I mean, is that not just crazy? We've already. How many was that? Rick, Brianna, Leslie, Mary Sexton,
There's at least
Jose. We're already, that's already 5, 6.
There's at least one or two more.
There's at least 1 or 2 more, and that's that we know of. Yeah, Connie Adams says, I believe Ronnie Lawson's son has a lot to do with it. It's a possibility. I don't discount anything at this point. Brianna Tester was night teed and was unalived in an apartment complex. They said they have found the responsible party, but I mean, how is there this many people passed away? I don't know. It's insane to me. Let me see here. Okay, guys, let me get these videos uploaded. Let me shut this real quick. Okay. Let me close that, and let's see here. I will add these links to the description when we get done. I put this at the we grab these links at the very last minute. So, Allie, is the first one a video, or do I need to read it? Huh?
The first tab is the video.
The one I have pulled is a horrifying scene at Riverside where police say catfishing of teen led to 3 unalivings. Hold on, I'll figure it out.
The very first.
I know, I got it. Let's see here. Okay, let me see if you guys can see it. Yeah, that's what I got pulled up right here. I'm going to turn my camera off for 1 second, so we'll read this together, and I'll go full screen with this. Okay. Is that better? All right. So, it says, horrifying scene at Riverside home where police say catfishing of a teen led to 3 unalivings. This is the home right here. I mean, this is a pretty nice home. And, you know, just for this officer to go in here, take out 3 individuals, and then stage a fire, you know, it's just crazy. And we're going to get, you know, to the crazy part too. I think the way that these officers in San Bernardino County ended up fixing this situation at the end of it, you're going to be like, this is straight out of a movie. I mean, it's these guys, these cops in California, they meant business, and they were not playing. Okay, so let me see here. Are you coming in?
Yeah,
Well, that's what I was waiting on. Let me.
I didn't know that.
I turned the camera on so you can come across there.
I'm just gonna sit over there.
Okay, there you go. All right. Okie dokie. All right, so it says. Neighbors described a horrifying scene as a man who police say catfished a teenage girl arrived at her family home in Riverside on Friday, unaliving 3 relatives, and then leaving with her and it says and the home on fire, but I guess it meant saying setting home on fire. Neighbors said Monday that they saw the suspect's vehicle parked a few doors from the house, and heard arguing from the home. Then the man fled with the girl as a fire burned inside the home. The smell of ash lingered in the quiet cul-de-sac Monday. A wooden cross was nailed to one of the broken windows that was boarded up after the fire. Antonio Castro was out when the attack took place, but said his home camera alerted him of smoke in the neighborhood, and he rushed back. He found smoke rising from his neighbor's home and saw 3 bodies in the front yard. Police arrived at the 11,200 block of Price Court to see smoke pouring from the home. And Officer Ryan Railsback, a spokesman for the Riverside Police Department. Will you keep it on the chat, please? Mm-hmm. Firefighters were extinguishing the blaze when they discovered the bodies of a man and 2 women inside the house, Railsback said. The victims were identified as Mark Wynick, 69, his wife, Sherry Wynick, 65, and their daughter, Brooke Wynick, 38. I mean, it's so sad. Please keep this young girl in your prayers, because
and she has a sister too.
She lost everybody
except her sister is
now.
Because it was the grandparents and the mother, and then the mother's 2 daughters that lived there.
Right. So,
I don't know
hey,
where
Ray
the
Bird.
other daughter was. I don't know where she was when all of this occurred, but
well,
so he unalived the mother and the grandparents.
Right. And he, thank the Lord that she wasn't there. Maybe she was staying with a friend.
Right.
Something. Or maybe she hid. We don't know the details. But I will tell you something that's very strange to me, and I don't want to speculate very much. Here, let me go back to this real quick, to this screen. You're going to say hi to everybody since you just came in? You got to actually.
I'm here.
I don't want to speculate very much, as this is a very sensitive area, but what I have a hard time understanding is how he got in the home, how he was able to single-handedly take out 3 adults without maybe assistance from just maybe an unlocked door or unlocking a door. Right. I don't know the details, but we know that these online predators, and this guy being a law enforcement officer, might have manipulated her. We don't know. Maybe, he had her, he had groomed her. We don't know. Brainwashed. I don't know. It's such a sad thing. But let us continue. I mean, same here, Ancient Gypsy. Hey Amanda Vita. This is the problem. And I've been saying it and saying it and saying it for almost a year. When does it? I mean, it is a huge problem that not only if you call law enforcement over something, that you would have to worry about who the officer is, and if they are, looking at your child, what nefarious things might be going through their mind, and if you need to protect yourself from the law enforcement officer who's taken an oath to serve and protect us. And then it really makes you question the judgment of these hiring agencies.
Right.
Who are they arresting? If they're riding beside and working beside an officer who can do something like this to a family and is hunting and seeking out young children on the internet, it ain't the first time we hear this. Seems to be their go-to thing. Richard Chandler, former Kingsport Police Department officer, same thing. He was an online predator. He was part of a group of pedos who thought it was okay to they shouldn't be in trouble or be able to be tried criminally for having relations with Infants is what the word was used. Infants. How do people with a mindset like that get hired first off? And how do cops that are trained to see these kind of signs and red flags, they don't see anything? They don't see any red flags to even look into these kind of individuals. Not only are they getting away with it for years and years and years because they know the what is supposed to be the good side, the good guy's side. They know all their tips and tricks, and they know the criminal aspects. So they know how to cover their tracks. They know how to hide in plain sight. But yet an officer should be able to see that, or at least hear something they say that's like, wow, that's weird.
Well, so about this guy, he is from, well, he's from locally where we are, the same area. And I've seen a lot of people talking online about him that knew him, went to school with him, like back in high school, or worked with him. A lot of people say that he was nice, but a lot of them said he was very weird.
Odd is the word. Yeah. So
even they saw little things about him that they
he
thought
worked
was
at
odd.
Lowe's.
Yeah.
He worked at Lowe's
And Walmart.
So people that worked with him at Lowe's and Walmart are able to say, hey, this guy's odd and weird. But the oh gosh.
Notice it?
Yeah, the freaking Virginia State Police and a county sheriff's office can't see telltale signs of, hey, maybe we should keep an eye on him. Hold on one second, guys. I just no, hold on. I just spilt my Pepsi all in my lap. It's wonderful. Oh, what a wonderful thing it is. Hold on one second. So I'm going to go back over to this screen right here. And let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, and we're not even talking. Look, this is a different officer. The Richard Chandler I was talking about is not John Allen Biggins. The Sullivan County, who was former Hawkins County corrections officer, who tried to meet up with a 4-year-old child in Asheville, North Carolina, but it was a sting set up by the feds that caught him. So obviously they're very aware that there's a problem going on in Hawkins County and Sullivan County for them to be busting these kind of this level of monster pedo cop, whatever they are. They're just sick. It's bullshit. Excuse my language. That they get away with being a cop as long as they do before even getting apprehended or even looked into. You got not only him, this is another cop, Randy Haas, that lived right down the road from Summer, who I think is related by marriage to Andy Bernard, very close to Jody Sue, and that whole group. It's just crazy, and we're going to talk about Miss Jody Sue at the end of this. And before let me go back over to my screen real quick. Before we go any farther, I want to let you know, Jody Sue, we haven't been talking about you for a damn good reason, because nobody wants to give you attention. But last night you were triggered, and I'm sorry, ma'am. We are allowed to talk about what you do on your channel, as you are a public YouTube creator, which we are under fair use able to criticize, comment, remark, whatever it is. I'm not going to go over the whole Fair Use Act, but the simple fact that people that sit over there are fooled when she says that people can't talk about her, that she is a witness. Woman, you a damn suspect, and you have been. They ain't cleared you, ain't cleared anybody. And the way you were triggered last night by somebody in the chat bringing up a vehicle that nobody has ever even heard about is very, very alarming. We'll get to that. Let's finish going over this, though, with this officer. I mean, it is crazy. Oh, Dazed, you're still in here, Dazed and Confused. I might play your clip if that's okay of what she said last night, because we all know that Jody likes to go and delete things when she, after she goes on and on and on and on and on about how everybody's committing crimes against her, when, maybe you're the one who's committed the biggest crime, Jody. So we don't know, but there's a lot of bad things that have been pointed towards you more so than others. Anyway, back to this. So,
read what Amanda said right there, because I saw that yesterday. That right there should give everybody hope.
What are you talking about?
Right here.
Oh, Amanda. Yesterday, a woman, Melissa Highsmith, was found after being kidnapped 50 years ago by a new babysitter. Anything and anyone. Yeah, I heard about that. Wasn't it the oldest missing child case? That is crazy. I heard that. I read about that. All right. Days, did you say that was okay that we play your clip? Yes, she is a public figure. Thank you. Nobody forced Jody Sue to become a public figure. She made the channel. She's bullshitted everybody, and she's been called out on it with proof of her saying one thing at this point in time and then changing and saying a complete opposite thing. Ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, I know. Listen, we'll go over Whiskey Boots 19. I know that she is a con artist, and she thinks she's so smart, but something that she said really bothered me, and we're going to go over that. I think there's more to it, because I don't know if she expected what happened last night. And I saw where Benny, actually, he hasn't been going live at all. He felt the same way enough to actually do a live and talk about it. The way that she was triggered last night, and I got something crazy to tell y'all too about that, if I can find my phone. So it's funny, conveniently, how I knew to go over there and watch is because I got a text message from a number that I had never seen, and I've only contacted Jody Sue back in the beginning of the case by Facebook Messenger. So she wouldn't have had my phone number.
Well, that's even whenever we called her that night, it was on Facebook Messenger.
I don't know. I don't think this was her.
I don't think it was her.
It said, Cam, this is Jody. Are you busy? I was like, man, I ain't answering that. Y'all are crazy.
But it's just funny because at the exact moment that happened is whenever that started going on.
Yeah, I felt like they were going to try to come and try to frame us and say, y'all are the ones that was in the chat. So I was like, first off, I ain't got time to worry about what Chody Poo is over there ranting and raving about. It's pathetic, to be honest with you, most of the time, because she's so full of crap and she believes her own crap, that it's and her little minions over there that are yes men. I mean, they believe anything the freaking woman says. And I mean, it's like one individual particularly in her chat is like a cloned reincarnation of Miss Chody Poo, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, you would think, I mean, she worships the ground that she walks on. It's insane. Anyway, let me clear this. She's not even a little smart. Very true. Very true. Jody Sue, isn't that the woman that has prayer garden? I don't know. No, Hey, lean on me. Thank you for being a member for 2 months. Remember, 2 months I've been here for 17. I love you, but we love you too. Thank you for being here. I know you've been with us since the beginning.
She was one of the.
She was our first guest.
Yeah.
She was our first guest that came up on panel. Okay. Let me see, guys. I'm sorry if. Yeah, Georgina, believe me, I'm staying away from the hassle, but I will talk about that a little bit. Let's finish this and play this video, and then we'll get to that, okay? Thank y'all so much for having patience with us. Hey, Danielle. Akim and Allie, I'm going to have to come back and watch the replay, but just wanted to send my love and respect for it. Thank you so much. And we love you and respect you
Yes,
too.
we
Thank
do.
you so much. Hey, Ange Carter. Oh, and Jay went live just now.
Imagine that.
Triggered much, are we? It's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Okay, so moving on. These are pictures of the grandparents and the mother that was unalived by Austin Edwards, this freaking monster. It says from left, Sherry Winnick, Mark Winnick, and their daughter Brooke Winnick were found passed away on Friday by Riverside Police Department. And, you know, kudos to Riverside Police Department and San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office. I mean, they're the real deal. When you hear this, how this was handled, you're going to be like, oh my Lord. Oh, she said, Daisy said it's supposed to be too. So it says investigators have determined that the outdoor disturbance involved a teenager who lived in the house. Railsback said the man she was with, Austin Lee Edwards, 28, a law enforcement officer from North Chesterfield, Virginia. That's not accurate. He is when he worked for the Virginia State Police. That's where he was assigned to work, which was, you know, towards Richmond, Virginia. He is actually was from a town called Pounding Mill or Richlands, Virginia. Now listen to this. This is from where Richard Honaker. If you guys had followed that, that is very, very concerning.
It is.
It's a bit very concerning that maybe all those people were found in that same area. That is concerning. That he might have been practicing.
Right.
Oh my gosh. And think about who the people were. People that had former backgrounds and been in trouble.
Right.
And
people that they ended up sweeping under the rug.
All their names started with R's. I mean, maybe there's something to that. That's speculation.
That's
100% speculation. Yeah.
But that just kind of occurred.
That was like a big light bulb went off. And I was like, ding. I was like, holy crap. Maybe we should.
I didn't even think about that. But
there's
more to that, too. Like people, when I was reading comments today, people were saying that like he fit the kind of profile of like a serial.
Well, that's what we were that's what it's been speculated, that there was 5 where, if y'all aren't familiar, go check our playlist of the videos about the Richard Timothy Honaker case, 37 out of Richlands, Virginia. 5 individuals found with their autopsies and their this manners of passing away not adding up to what they said happened. Now, they reopened Richard's case after closing it. One of the other people, one of their daughters, the man's daughter, reached out to us and said that
his autopsy came back and there was no evidence of water in his lungs, even though they said
his manner of death was drowning.
Yeah.
And so, but there was no water found. His daughter said that he looked like he had been beaten to, you know, till he was passed away. There's one thing I was going to get you to add about who was the one individual? Was it somebody who had just changed their orientation?
Yes.
And I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It was strange, but as far as Richard goes, they said that he had passed away from blunt force trauma, but his torso, he was literally torn in half. It did not make sense from a fall from a hill that could not cause that.
And the other guy that the autopsy said he had passed away from drowning, his daughter also said that he was so badly
That's what I
beaten.
said.
Did you say that?
Yeah, I just said that they said that he had been he looked like that somebody had really just aggressively and just brutally beat him.
Moonshine Girl, yes, that one right there is very weird to me too.
This guy,
Very
yes.
weird to me.
But I even thought about I don't know what's going on with the Idaho stuff. I mean, I don't know. It seems like he was very interested in going after this juvenile. I don't know if on the way to California, you passed through Idaho, or is that out of your way? I mean, there's this guy. It's just very strange to me that you would go. Why was it necessary to unalive 3 individuals? And I'm going to say this around where we're from, and that's one thing I didn't add. This officer worked very close to where I am, me and Allie are from. So it's very, very eye-opening.
Yes.
But where we're raised here, when we were raised to respect our elders and to be very, for this individual, it's just very out of, you don't hear about that happening a lot around here.
Yeah.
You don't see. So that's why when stuff happened with Summer going missing, and everybody around here was like, it shocked us, because it's very few and far between something like that happens. I don't want to speculate any farther on that. Yeah, no, Sassmare said nope, won't pass through Idaho. See, that's why I said I don't want to speculate that far, but it's just, you never know. You never know. And we've seen just this few things with Summer's case, all of these different, I don't believe in coincidences, but all these freaking multiple. I mean, there's so many coincidences you can't keep count.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. Anyway. Yeah, Mary Burks, we've went over that. Yeah, he kidnapped their the mother, she lived with her sister, her mother, and her grandparents.
Yes.
And he unalived her grandparents and her mother, and then tried to set the home on fire. This is one detail we're getting. He was wearing a trench coat, and he was said by locals that, have y'all ever heard of an officer that rocks a trench coat and rolls around? Is that not a red flag, number one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. That's our new state trooper. He rocks that trench coat around. That's not scary at all. That's not.
And when he says that's what locals, that means locals in Virginia.
Said that
he often wore a trench coat.
Well, he Scanner Food, I think, a Facebook group that keeps everybody updated around here. There's a lot of discussions, and you can learn a lot from it. But anyway, it triggered Sue. Somebody says funny.
Lean on me.
Lean on me. Yeah. Julia, Miss Sally, check email. Well, thank you. We will. Okay. Yeah. So, Onyx Angel said, I've not heard about trench coat since Columbine. Exactly. Like, so this guy, this is another detail. He obviously had another trench coat for the juvenile he abducted. So they're both rolling around in trench coats. We're going to get to that. Let's move on. This is crazy. Okay. Let's see here. Hey, Miss Allie, Mr. Cam. Fantastic music. Thank you, Michelle Sutherland. Found where they already looked for. Also, yeah, that's true. Yeah, Whiskey Boots, the Richland stuff too. All those people were found in places that were already been searched multiple times.
Yes.
And law enforcement had turned down professional search groups to come in that area and search. And some of the cops didn't even want to go in there and look. It was left up to the family. It's freaking crazy. I mean, I really get disgusted at sometimes, how we've seen Summer's case be handled. It's like every case I look at, or we just browse, or reading over on a day, just daily reading on Facebook and stuff, it's like you see it more and more often that people's cases are not being taken seriously, and very minimal effort is being put forward. Okay. So to finish here, it says investigators have determined that the outdoor disturbance involved a teenager who lived in the house, Railsback said. The man she was with, Austin Lee Edwards, 28, a law enforcement officer from northern Chesterfield, Virginia, was identified as the main suspect in the 3 deaths. He said Edwards was tracked Friday evening to San Bernardino County, where he was fatally shot by sheriff's deputies in Kelso after firing a gun at officers. Law enforcement officials said the girl was not harmed. I hope they go into detail of how this happened. So a sniper, an officer sniper from a helicopter, was able to take him out with a shot. I mean, that's like movie style. Like, kudos to the law enforcement there, and was able to protect the juvenile in the process. That's the real deal. That's the kind of cops that you want looking over your community, in my opinion. That's the ones that come in. They don't play no games. They see what's happening. They assess the situation, and they take care of it. And they probably investigate to the best ability, instead of saying, we don't need no help from the public. We don't need no tips from this and this. Don't tell a community that you don't need tips from anywhere. You don't discount anything. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Anyway, so where was that? Earlier, authorities report. Okay, the girl was not harmed. Earlier, authorities reported that Edwards had been unalived in Needles, California. Riverside police detectives determined that Edwards had met the teen online and misrepresented who he was, Railsback said. Detectives determined Edwards had met the female teenager through the common form of online deception known as catfishing, where someone pretends to be a different person than they actually are. Authorities said in the release, it is believed Edwards had developed an online relationship with the teen and obtained her personal information. He traveled from Virginia to Riverside, where he parked his car in a neighbor's driveway and walked into the teen's home. I'm sorry, I don't believe it would be that easy. In California, in Riverside, California. Mark, Sherry, and Brooke Wynick lived in the home with Brooke's 2 teen daughters. Their lives seemed to revolve around the 2 young girls, Castro said. They were grandparents, so everything they did for the 2 girls, he said. Mark, Sherry, and Brooke were loving people who didn't deserve this tragedy. The Wynick family wrote in a public statement Monday. They thank people for love, support, prayers, and patience during this horrific time in our lives, and said donations could be made to the family's GoFundMe campaign. In this picture right here, this is Austin Lee Edwards, 28, of Pounding Mill, not North Chesterfield, Virginia. And he has been identified as the main suspect. That's him right there. Little dweeb.
Doesn't he look like a creep?
Little creepy dweeb. He does. It says the cause and the manner of the 3 unalivings are under investigation, but police believe Edwards unalived the teen's grandfather, grandmother, and mother before taking her to his vehicle and driving away, according to officials. Sexmer, did you? I'm from I grew up in Lebanon. That's
same.
so
Actually,
very
I grew up
close.
in Cleveland, if you know where that's at.
Yeah, so it's
But this
that's why we
guy,
moved away from there.
I don't think he graduated until like 2012 or something.
Well, I
from
mean,
what I was
he's 28, so,
Oh, yeah, so it'd be-
he hasn't been that
no,
long
it's not
ago.
been that long ago. But yeah, anyway.
So it says the call is the manner, but blah, blah. Edwards was formerly employed by the Virginia State Police and had recently been hired as a deputy for the Washington County Sheriff's Office in Virginia, officials said. Let's see here. To be honest, I think of a cop from Hawkins County is involved in what happened this summer. Some kind of way, Ronnie Lawson knows that he is trying to keep it on the. Hey, listen, I have not very far from where your beliefs are. I believe that this is when Don Wells said this is bigger than what anybody imagines. I 100% agree with him. We have been able to see the corruption, and it goes deep over there. What did we just read today? That there was a shooting that
Occurred.
unaliving shooting that occurred last week.
Yes, but they will not give even the
The
news.
TBI or Hawkins County will not give out the date or location of where this happened.
Yeah.
Now I understand that there's an investigation, but it sounds to me they probably don't know the date. Or
well, I mean, that's not like them just refusing to give it to. That's them refusing to give it to the main media around here.
Yeah, it's not
JHL and WCYB.
Yeah, not social media. The mainstream media.
Mainstream media. They are refusing both the TBI and Hawkins County.
I don't believe I've ever heard of I don't. He's confused. Said what? I don't believe I have ever heard of them not giving at least a date.
Yeah.
Or a location or a general area.
So when I saw that today, I thought that it had happened like today. And then I get to the end of the article and it says that they will not give any information. They will not disclose the date or location that it happened. And it said that it happened last week at the end. It was like an afterthought.
That's insane. So you can take that how you want. Where's that article and where can it be found? Just look up Hawkins County news and you'll see the article about it. This doesn't make sense. Those guys over there and how they conduct business, and the TBI obviously I've lost a lot of faith in. When they can't even take a report. Y'all have heard it live. I've called and people can say, you don't call on live law enforcement. That wasn't the point I was trying to make. I was trying to let people hear in real time without us saying, I didn't say anything about YouTube. I didn't say anything that would make them dismiss a tip at all. I just wanted y'all to hear how nonchalant and they don't take it seriously. They do not care.
There's the article.
So, yeah, the link is, can you put the link in the chat, please?
It's on WCYB. I'm gonna put it in the
chat. She's gonna list the link below. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this before it takes any longer. What was that? Did you see that?
That's for a group.
Whose group?
It's for a Quentin Simon group.
We have not posted. Was that to us?
No, it's to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it says, I'm going to finish this one article so we can watch the video and then move to the next thing. Real quick, I'm going to finish reading this right now. So, Edwards completed training with the Virginia State Police Academy in January, according to a statement from Washington County Sheriff Blake Andis, and was hired as a patrol deputy with the sheriff's office in rural Southwest Virginia on November 16th. 2022, less than 10 days before he arrived in Riverside and unalived the Winnicks before the shootout with local law enforcement, officials say. And this said Edwards had started orientation at his agency and had been assigned to the patrol division. It's
They
insane.
would have been just driving around.
Yeah, he's does
Oh my
the state
God.
police. So why there has to be a reason that he resigned. This is what I mean by
Yes.
law enforcement. They don't address it because they don't want the stain on the agency. So they just let them go, and they're able to go down the road and get a job at another agency
So,
just like that.
right, exactly. But that is that not weird? Why did he even go and get that job? He had not even been employed by them 10 days, and he drove across the country. So that takes at least a couple of.
I mean,
2 or
it's
3
pretty
days.
stupid. Like, why go through
Why
the
did he-
effort?
Right, to
Because
get
he
the
thought,
job.
because I believe this idiot
thought he
thought-
would get away with it.
no, he thought that he was going to go over there, get her,
and bring her
unalive
back.
3 people, and just live a happy life and go back to work as a cop on Monday.
Probably.
I mean, I believe that's what this guy thought. Anyway, so I'm going to finish this. It is shocking and sad to the whole. Oh, excuse me. Let me start that over. I'm discombobulated after that. It is shocking and sad to the entire law enforcement community that such an evil and wicked person could infiltrate law enforcement while concealing his true identity as a computer predator and unaliver. And is said in a statement. That is
Washington County.
the guy, the sheriff who hired the individual. First and foremost, maybe do a reference check and call the Virginia State Police and say, hey, did you guys notice anything about this guy? It's kind of weird that he just graduated the academy and was working for the most prestigious
Probably the best
law
he could
enforcement
get.
agency in the state of Virginia, and quits within couple months, resigns, whatever. It makes no sense to me, and it's just, I don't know. Wouldn't that be a reason you would be? So what brings you here after working where you have statewide jurisdiction?
But you know what his excuse probably was? I wanted to get closer to my family. But this county that he was working in is a few counties over from where he even,
No, well,
you know what I mean?
No,
Okay.
because then I'm going to tell you why. Any officer that goes through the academy and the struggle can at least be able to suck it up for a little while till he can get relocated. And, like we said, it's the Virginia State Police. He had statewide jurisdiction, and maybe they wanted him to work a certain area of counties. But if you put your time in, I'm pretty sure that they will relocate you closer to your family.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I don't think that it was just that he needed to be closer to his family that quick. I mean, that's pretty sad if he can't suck it up that long. And that's where you get the, what's it called? You get your time in the city where he actually has to see real criminals and actually do, the cops. I'm not saying that they don't do anything around the rural areas in the countryside, but it ain't like what they're dealing with in Richmond.
You're going to get a lot more experience.
That's what I was trying to say. Experience. And it just, be able to deal with a high or intense, very intense situation and be able to stay calm, because you're not going to be able to just jump into it. Around here, most of the time, I said this earlier, when you see them pulled over, always on their phone, it makes you wonder after reading cases like this, what are they really doing in there? What?
Lean on me said it's like a clown face, like he could dress up like a clown. Rumor has it his dad was a clown.
That's what it said, that his father made, one of the comments from somebody who went to school with him and worked with him and knew him, said his father made balloon animals and was a clown, literally. Crazy.
I just thought I saw that. Sorry,
it's all good. I haven't been on the same article for a long time. Let's get through it. Where was that? Okay, here it is. Andis and a No, it's not where it was. Our thoughts and prayers are with the. Okay, to finish this, it's shocking and sad to the entire law enforcement community that such an evil and wicked person could infiltrate law enforcement while concealing his true identity as a computer predator and unaliver, and has said in a statement. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Winnick family, their friends, officers, and all those affected by the heinous crime. Andis and a spokesperson for the Virginia State Police said none of Edwards' prior employers had disclosed issues. That's funny. Sounds like something familiar that I said at the very beginning of this. Corinne Geller, the state police spokesperson, said that during Edwards' 15-month tenure there, he never exhibited any behavior to trigger any internal administrative or criminal investigations. During his background and psychological tests, there weren't any indicators of concern, she said. Well, of course not. If you're going to even go attempt to be an officer, you don't have a background. You haven't been caught yet. And maybe they should look into their internet back and forth, because they have that ability. And that's what's scary. This guy probably had access to how police can get into the information that nobody else can. And that's what they do. They have the tools to be the predators that they are. I'm not talking about all law enforcement. I'm talking about the corrupt ones. And we've seen many, many, many of them. And if you didn't catch the beginning of this live, the number one crime that officers commit while on duty, while hiding behind the badge, is SA crimes against minors. That is statistics. Anyway, so it says Edwards resigned from the Virginia State Police on October 28th, 2022, according to Geller, and started with the sheriff's office about 3 weeks later. Friends and family of the three who passed away gathered over the weekend to remember their loved ones, according to the Press Enterprise. Ron Smith told the Press Enterprise that Mark Winnick was a close friend. Wow. And excuse me. That was terrible. I didn't mean to burp on you. Call me out and start laughing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was rough. My bad. Excuse
You went like this, though. Blew it away.
I tried to blow it away.
Blew it at me.
Anyway, all right. So I am burning up. It is so hot in here. What y'all turn the heat on? 1,000,000? Woo! Yeah, you sure did. I know how you and the heat are. Woo!
I like to be warm.
No, you like to cook. Woo!
I
Ron,
would rather be hot than cold. You can always take clothes off, but you can only put.
I would rather be cold than hot any day. Hot is miserable.
It's backwards, actually. You can always put clothes on, but
Here,
you
go
can't
turn it off, please. Woo! Ron Smith told the Press Enterprise that Mark Winnick was a close friend, and the passing away or the unaliving came as a shock. Smith said Winnick was a beloved figure in Inland Empire sports, having coached baseball for many years at area high schools, including Corona and Arlington. Mark was a man who was huge in the softball and baseball coaching ranks, Smith said. Excuse me. You can't ask for a better friend than Mark. Sherry Lazzarini told the Press Enterprise that she met Winnick in 1994 when he asked to join her softball coaching staff at La Sierra High School in Riverside while his daughters were attending. She said they had remained close. She said that they remained close. Hold on 1 second, that door. Okay, let me let Allie back over here. Excuse me. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me mute this for 1 second. Where's the mouse? All right. So let's finish. This is the longest article I've ever read in my life. Sherry Lazzarini told Press Enterprise that she met Winnick in 1994, but they remain close. I finished out. He was a man dedicated to helping student athletes, Lazzarini said. I don't want the legacy to be what's happened because he was a really special man. It's very sad. The GoFundMe campaign called Mark Winnick a loving father, grandfather, uncle, brother, and coach, and Sherry Winnick a sweet and caring mother, grandmother, sister, aunt who cherished spending time with her family. The page said Brooke Winnick was a beloved single mother with the biggest heart. All right. So there's that article. We made it through that one. It is very, very sad case. So I have a video to watch. And if Dazed and Confused is still in here, I've got, is it okay if I play your video that you made when we get to the Miss JSB part? Give me a thumbs up or a yes, something if you don't care. Okay, let's see. G Crime AU says JSB needs to be dragged into LE station ASAP. We need to find Summer. Hey, I agree. With you.
I'm hearing yes, play anything.
Huh? Okay, that's fine. Play anything, she said?
Yeah.
All right, so let me get this next clip going, and we'll be done with this part. I thought this was very, very important to go over. This happened, and this just adds to the mountain of evidence of the corruption that happens right here, what is going on with law enforcement in Hawkins County. This ain't the first Virginia State Trooper that has been charged with, heinous crimes, former Virginia State Trooper. There was another one that we went over months ago that had, of course, you could probably guess, SA crimes against minors.
What Ancient Gypsy said.
Ancient Gypsy, where is... Okay. So from my experience, some officers are involved in organized crime. Organized crime may include pedo rings. Historical facts about a certain area will lead you to the organizations. It's very true, and I know exactly what you're talking about. We might cover that very soon, and I'm going to actually show you those statistics before we end this. If I can find it. Can you see if you can find the link? I think it was called the it was the Buffalo something, man. I don't know. Just put in officers #1 crime, officers that are convicted of while wearing a badge, while active duty. Okay. Let me stop sharing that screen, and I'm going to pull this up real quick for you guys. Let me move this over here. Okay. So, that's not it. Okay. Let's get into this real quick, and let's watch this, and then we'll move on. Thank you guys again. I'm gonna ask you, if you haven't already, please leave your touch DNA on that like button. Me and Allie would greatly appreciate it. We don't ask y'all for anything, just a little support with a thumbs up, and we really appreciate you.
Exactly.
Okay, let me stop my camera and let's watch this, and I'll full screen it so everybody can see it well.
It's why them?
Now, for neighbor reacts as we get shocking, deep, gruesome.
This to happen to them. It's why them?
Now at 4, neighbor reacts as we get shocking details in the murders of a family. Police say the suspect traveled from out of state after meeting a teenage survivor online. Hi, everyone. I'm Susie Sa.
And I'm Juan Fernandez. That suspect was in law enforcement, and Keene California investigators say he tricked the teen.
Information on where she lived. We have live to you coverage bizarre story this afternoon, including the day of meeting strangers online.
We begin with KCAL9's Michelle Geely with details on the murder investigation, including how the suspect was killed in a shootout with deputies. Michelle?
Indeed, the suspect was killed after the shootout this past Friday. County Sheriff deputies, this happening in the desert west of Nichols, say that was hours after this Virginia deputy sheriff killed a couple and their adult daughter right here in their house in Riverside. Witnesses say the suspect then left with a teenage girl who lives here.
He knew what he was doing. Exactly. But thank goodness he made a lot of mistakes. Parking in the driveway, having somebody see him.
A neighbor of the 3 family members murdered in Riverside took this photo out of her window of the suspect's red car in her driveway, thinking it might have been stolen and dumped here. It was 10:30 in the morning last Friday, minutes before the Winnick's home started burning. Officials say the bodies of Mark, Sherry, and Brooke Winnick were discovered inside. The neighbor, who asked not to be named, told me that she saw 28-year-old Austin Lee Edwards dressed in a black trench coat and face mask, walking with the 15-year-old who lives in the house. They were getting into the red car. She was trying to mouth the words to me, but nothing came out, the neighbor said. I looked down and saw she was barefoot. She was crying a little bit. She didn't try to make a run for it. The neighbor called police. Authorities say the teenager and the suspect, who is a Virginia law enforcement officer, had an online relationship. Edwards, Riverside police believe, pretended to be younger than 28 years old.
He developed a relationship with her enough where we believe there might have been an exchange of texts, maybe phone calls, and he was able to get her personal information. He was able to get her address, obviously.
And drove across the country, officials say, to find the victim's young relative. The neighbor says she saw the suspect walk back to the car with a plastic bag and black backpack. I opened the garage door, she recounted. He was stunned. I said, "Hey, you can't park here." He actually apologized, said sorry. Before the pair drove off, the neighbor got the suspect's license plate and called police again.
Hold on, before we continue, that's exactly what I was trying to say. How he apologized and said he was sorry. That's those manners that are instilled in us around here.
Yeah.
It's always, even when the rest of the world doesn't say sorry, excuse me, thank you.
We do.
We do. It's Southern hospitality. But then to go and right behind that and commit what he did,
Yes.
it makes,
It
I mean,
makes sense.
I don't understand it. We'll continue. This guy right here, I mean, he is an embarrassment to this area, to Southwest Virginia. He is
Absolutely.
an embarrassment. Anyway.
She is a true hero because she was watching and she was diligent and followed through to what she had to do for this young girl, seeing her in distress.
There is a fund to raise money for the survivors, and this statement, a new statement from the family, the Winnick family, would like to thank everyone for their love, support, prayers, and patience during this horrific time in our lives. Mark, Sherry, and Brooke were loving people who didn't deserve this tragedy. Now, this afternoon, Riverside police are saying that the teenage girl and that she has been interviewed by detectives to the point where these detectives believe that the suspect was the only one involved in the murders and the fire here. That's the latest live in Riverside.
All right, so that's just, I mean, it's wild. And now I want to show y'all something. These are the statistics that I was talking about.
Well,
Just
this includes some of the statistics.
right. Yeah, I will have to find the one that we went over. If you haven't seen, you need to go back and watch that live we did. It was very good, and actually has Richard Honeacre's family on that. We did an live interview about the corruption happening in Richlands in the Tazewell County Sheriff's Office. Okay, so let me see where I'm at. Let me close these out, and I will pull this up before we go into. We're going to talk about the maroon red Lincoln Navigator that was brought up in the chat with Miss Jody Sue Brown last night. Now, if this was a pre-planned thing that she has used, I don't think so. She got really freaking triggered last night, and we'll play that clip. Let me pull this up real quick though for you, as I strongly believe that this will be very eye-opening for some if you don't know about it already. Oh wow. Okay. Let me share this. Let me go ahead and open that, and then we'll be able to share it a little better. Can you go ahead and put these links to those videos in the description? I forgot to do that so people can find it. Okay. I'm sorry. Well, we'll do it after you're done. If you can plug it up, I don't know. Okay, here it is. So this says, let me go full screen with this. Predators behind the badge confronting police SUL misconduct. As more efforts to stem SA by powerful men come to light. This was written in March, early March 2020, by the way. And this is from the Crime Report. If you have never been to that website, I strongly, I promote it. I think it's very good and very eye-opening. Anyway, as more efforts to stem SA by powerful men come to light, there still remains a marginalized group that continues to suffer at the hands of the people who should be protecting them. They are the victims of police misconduct or SUL misconduct. Interviews with police and other experts and a review of available data by the Crime Report indicated that police misconduct, or PSM, most affects young people and others who are the most vulnerable in society, amounting to a betrayal of trust of those who look to them the most for guidance, protection, and safety. Police PSM is an issue that's hidden in the shadows, said Andrea Ritchie, author of Invisible No More, Police Violence Against Black Women and Women of Color. In an interview with the Crime Report, police have so much power, and they use that power in the same way that other people with power, such as Harvey Weinstein, politicians, and priests do. The problem has long been recognized, but it's only beginning to receive attention from police training academies and state legislators. A 2003 national study by Police Professionalism Initiative, written by Professor Samuel Walker at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, found that 40% of reported cases of PSM, or police misconduct, involve teens, often young women involved in youth engagement and job shadowing programs. 7 years later, a 2010 study by the Cato Institute, a libertarian think tank that tracks police wrongdoing, found that misconduct by law enforcement generates more citizen complaints than any other factor except for excessive force. It's insane.
See, that's huge.
a 2015 investigation by the Associated Press found that roughly 1,000 officers lost their badges in a 6-year period for the R word there, sodomy, and other SAS crimes that included possession of child P. We've seen that before. If you've been following Summers' case and the officers and the county surrounding it, you will see the sons of even the offspring of said of officers getting in trouble for the child P. Anyway, or S misconduct such as propositioning citizens or having consensual but prohibited on-duty intercourse. This is crazy, guys. And if you don't think it's real, and all the people that just shrugged it off and when we first started talking about this, pay attention, please. My gosh. And a database compiled by the Buffalo News reports that from 2005 to 2015, a law enforcement official was caught in a case of SA or misconduct at least every 5 days. Every 5 days. If is that not concerning?
Yeah.
Let me know your thoughts. If this is concerning and this is new to you and you didn't know about it, please put a 1 in the chat. Please. I just want to get an idea of who's aware of this and who's not.
Terrifying.
It's very terrifying. Let me read that again. And a database compiled by the Buffalo News reports that from 2005 to 2015, a law enforcement official was caught in a case of SA or misconduct at least every 5 days.
So how do you trust any of them? Like, you know what I mean? That makes it so hard.
I mean, that's mind-blowing.
Yeah, it is.
That's in 2015.
Yeah, so this has been years now.
Now, like I said at the beginning of this, there's not even very strong data because law enforcement agencies are not reporting it. They're letting them go, and they're just able to go get a job down the road.
Yeah.
It's insane. Anyway, excuse me. I got my mouth. Hold on a second. I got dry mouth. Running my mouth so much here. Okay. Richie, a researcher in residence focusing on race, gender, sexuality, and criminalization at the Bernard Center for Research on Women, believes that these numbers represent just the tip of the iceberg.
Wow.
She observes that victims of PSM have less motivation than most to report abuse and thus often rarely come forward at all out of fear. That's what it is. It's going to say that anyway.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
Because obviously they're not.
Retaliation.
Well, they're not going to. If a cop did this to them, then they are not going to want to go forward to the cops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They can't because they'll get retaliated on.
Right.
That's what this is going to say right here. The people we tell people to report SA to the police, said Richie. Survivors of SA by police are the only survivors of SA who have to report the assault to the police that committed it, to the people that committed it. That's a huge reason that they're not reported. Moreover, Richie explains police agencies are reluctant to take reports or complaints of this kind of conduct, often trying to dissuade people from making them and even wrongly categorizing reports of abuse and discourtesy. Improper search. So they are wrongly categorizing this on purpose. Reports of abuse as discourtesy, improper search, or unprofessional conduct in an attempt to diminish their in an attempt to diminish their severity and impact. If that fails, police departments and their officers have been known to actively pursue a victim's silence through direct threats and intimidation, she added. This is insane. Oh my gosh. We grew up being told to find a police officer if we needed help. Parents tell their kids.
She meant can't tell their
Parents can't tell their kids that in good conscience anymore. Hey, I'll be the very first one to admit I've told my children to be very leery of everyone, even law enforcement. If they don't know them and have never spoke to an officer before, be very careful. I am so blessed to know that the resource officer in my children's school, I know him very well.
Yes.
And he's a very stand-up individual. My father knows his father, and I know who is protecting my child. I'm blessed with that. But there are so many people out there that this could be the resource officer in your child's school that is doing this. It's appalling. Gosh, I mean, that made my stomach twist just now. If that fails, police departments and their officers have been known to actively. Oh, I've already read that. Hold on. In 2010, the Washington Post reported that when teenager Tiawanda Moore attempted to report her essay at the hands of a Chicago police officer, she was allegedly given the runaround by internal affairs officers who intimidated and discouraged her from making the report and instead instructed her to contact them if the incidents happened again.
Wow.
When she used her phone to record their attempts of dissuasion, she was charged with 2 counts of eavesdropping. She was charged.
What the heck?
In 2017, hold on, I gotta read that again. When she used her phone to record the police attempts to dissuade her, she was charged with 2 counts of eavesdropping for trying to report essay from an officer on her. It's insane. In 2017, according to an article by the Huffington Post, the mother of a teenage girl accusing 2 New York police officers of the R word claimed that roughly 13 officers from 2 different precincts approached them while they were awaiting a forensic examination at a local hospital and attempted to dissuade them from reporting the crime, going so far as to try and push them to say that the perpetrators were not police officers at all.
Oh my gosh. 13.
13. And in Seattle, Washington, King County Sheriff's. Now, King County is where prolific serial Ted Bundy. King County is where Ted Bundy's from. And in Seattle, Washington, King County Sheriff John Urquhart was accused of directing investigators not to document, we're going to call it grape allegations against him from 2016 of actively intimidating the victim's supporters and of attempting to discredit the victim by publicly releasing her medical records, according to a 2017 report. That's HIPAA.
Yes.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
The culture of the blue wall of silence is what conceals this particular form of police violence, same as it does from other forms of police violence, said Ritchie. The blue wall of silence. A significant percentage. Oh, let me put these up. These people are. God is bringing the dark to light. Amen. My stepfather was never arrested for his abuse against me because his brother is a police officer. Right there, Lady R2.0. Thank you for sharing that. That's very strong of you to say that. But right there in the chat, is somebody who is dealt with this personally.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for that. So it says a significant percentage of officers who all discombobulated. A significant percentage of officers know it's happening, but they're looking the other way and not reporting it. It's just considered part of the culture.
Part of the culture.
And it is a culture that repeatedly discounts reports of grape and SA in general. In 2016 investigation by BuzzFeed News found that the Scottsdale, Arizona Police Department had one of the highest rates of unfounded grape cases in the country, 46% between 2009 and 2014. The Phoenix News Times reports that FBI data from 2014 to 2017 shows that the department is still designating grapes as unfounded and at a much higher rate than the national average, indicating that a severe problem with the way officers there respond to the R victims and investigate R cases. In Baltimore, 2016 investigation of the Baltimore Police Department by the Department of Justice found that the department seriously and systematically under-investigates reports of SA, flagging failures such as victim blaming, ignoring reports from S workers, letting reports languish as open cases, not testing grape kits, and not investigating suspects as standard practice. Where have we heard that? I know a county where we've heard that, where a physician, a pediatric physician of a child that went missing by the name of Carly Trent, who then later that physician was found guilty of essaying 2 young boys, but yet the same physician, pediatric physician, put up a good amount of the reward fund for Carly Trent. This is how they hide. This is how they deceive. And this is how they get away with the crap they do. It's insane and needs to be stopped. Look, I mean, how many people actually knew about this that didn't before?
Yeah.
It's hidden. They don't talk about it on the mainstream media. They have a 5-second clip. They talk about it one time and it's never been brought up again. And that's how people don't realize that it's happening. The consistency and the how often it happens.
The vastness of how
many officers, how many counties nationwide. It's very scary. Okay, so around the country, reports. Okay, let's see here. Around the country, reports the appeal. SA victims have filed lawsuits against local governments and police departments for failing to investigate their cases, failing to submit grape kits, and disproportionately dismissing cases or refusing to prosecute when the victim is female.
What in the world?
In many instances, victims were instead met with judgmental questions about their clothing, their number of partners, how much they had to drink, and why they were in a certain neighborhood when the assault occurred. None of your damn business. Go after the person who did this to me and quit acting like it's my fault.
Exactly.
That's what the women and men that this happened to need to say. But you can't stand up to, what are you supposed to do? You stand up to the officer and he arrests you for something.
Yeah.
Or plants something on you. Or completely fabricates and sets somebody up for something because it will blemish their agency. Pieces of shit. This is a problem. We need to hold law enforcement accountable just as much as they hold everybody else. In many instances, victims were instead met with judgmental questions. Okay, I read that. According to Philip Stinson, a professor of criminal justice at Bowling Green State University in Ohio, a police culture of silence, dissuasion, negligence, and misogyny not only protects officers accused of PSM, but also enables them to better target their victims. The police subculture is a sexualized environment, Stinson said in an interview with TCR. It is a very masculine culture. It's terrifying to go forward as a victim when your attacker is a police officer. Stinson, a former police officer for Department of Arlington, for departments in Arlington, Virginia, and Dover, New Hampshire, was exposed during his career to many officers getting away with crimes that others wouldn't. In response, he developed a database tracking thousands of incidents in which officers were arrested in 2005. Hey, Dutchie, thank you for coming in. Thank you, guys. If I'm missing any of your comments, I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to. And I don't know who's talking about who in the chat. I don't want any other creators talked about in my chat. I don't care about what they're doing. That's if they're doing bad things, they need to be exposed for it. If there is things to be aware of, people need to be aware of it. But we're not going to talk about it here. I am on a subject that is very important, and other creators at this point in time is not at the top of my priority list.
Right.
I'm sick and tired of the drama, and it's not happening here. We have real issues. We have real cases, and that's what we're focusing on over here. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just so sick of the YouTube drama. Like that's, it's gotten out of hand. But like I said, if there is creators that have committed or have actively committed any crimes, whatever case may be, as far as against female, male, children, whatever, I feel like that does need to be brought to light. But that's not what I'm doing on this show right here tonight.
Yes.
I appreciate everybody that's in here. But these cases, me and Allie are very passionate about, especially this right here, because it's so hidden and it's so frequent that people need to be more aware of it.
Because it's scary.
And actually, let me take back what I was going to say. Yeah, well, we are going to talk about a creator tonight, but she's not a creator. She's actually a suspect in an investigation for a missing 5-year-old.
But she's also a creator, which gives us, she's fair game.
She is fair.
About what we do on our lives, we'll talk about what she does on hers.
Yeah, go ahead for a second. I got to get something to drink. I'm dying.
Okay. Where was he at here? So I just found this article, guys, and I'm glad that I found it because I didn't even read the whole thing, but I saw that it had a lot of statistics in it, and this has blown my mind. I'm so glad to have found
I've read
an
this
article.
one before. This is the one I read before.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that we found an article that has it has so many different, you know what I'm talking about? You don't.
Tiers, levels.
No, sources.
Yeah.
That you cannot dispute this.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I'm
these are
saying?
studies
Right.
done by people that, like it said, one officer made a database because he had been exposed to so many officers committing crimes that weren't being held accountable for it.
Yeah.
So it says, in another case, former Oklahoma City police officer Daniel Holtzclaw is serving a 260. I've heard that name. Remember when Ziggy asked Fred Hill if it was Daniel Holtzclaw he was talking about? Remember that?
Maybe.
I remember. That's how I remember that name. That interview. I was like, what in the world? All right. Former Oklahoma City police officer Daniel Holtzclaw is serving a 263-year sentence for sexually assaulting 13 black women and girls, repeatedly targeting young women who used drugs and women he believed to be S workers, according to a report by the Associated Press. Such cases make clear that the police are picking people who are going to be discounted.
Exactly.
Look, it's a strong possibility that if this is bigger, this is total. We're speculating here, and we're just saying if Don Wells was being truthful, that this is bigger, and it does involve law enforcement. Who better to target?
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it that way, but they would.
Exactly. That exactly.
There's officers all around where Summer lives. There's eyes from an informant that we're going to talk
Across the
about at the end of this across the road that pays attention to everybody else's damn business and sees everything and knows everything that she might have been tipping things off.
Right.
Maybe that's why she was scared. So scared of law enforcement at the beginning of this.
Right.
It still is. That's why she's always bring up the feds. What she says.
Yeah.
You don't think we're going to play that clip. Anyway. So you listen. I know that some people think that she's this con artist. There's the very, very alarming things. People completely discount Miss JSB because they can't understand what she's saying and everything, and they've seen the tricks and games she plays. But there's a reason for her. I think there's something else there. I feel it strongly that there's something else there. But I'm hoping that law enforcement. This is the thing, though. If she's an informant for them, and there's something involved, and this goes bigger into law enforcement and local law enforcement, there, she knows she's not going to be held accountable. The only thing she could be worried about is getting silenced, and to a degree that you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you, guys, if you agree with that. Yanni, survivor stories, I agree with you 100%. Same here. She said, as a survivor, I just want to help people find the strength to give a voice to their suffering. It's something that helped me heal. Same here. Same here. Did me too. All right. Who would ever believe the Wells? Hey,
Right.
Kim Holmes, I agree with you 100%. It's a very strong possibility. I agree I agree with what you're saying.
I do too.
If that's the case, if that's what happened, who would ever believe them? And they know that.
Mm-hmm.
They believe me. But when these people that are, especially in places of power, they're not going to be as sloppy as what people think.
Yeah.
They're going to be paying attention to every little thing for quite a while leading up to whenever they do what they do. And this is very, very alarming. Do you know how many times this might have happened in the continental United States that it's never even been thought that it was people in power?
Right.
It's probably happens daily.
Yeah.
Sickening.
Or every 5 days.
Like it said in the report, every 5 days. Oh, that's good.
No, thank you.
That was really good. Earlier in this report, it said an officer commits one of these crimes every 5
Or
days.
is caught.
Caught for committing it.
Yes.
Every 5 days. All right. So the Daniel Holtz clause. So reportedly targeting young women who use drug, blah, blah. Such cases make clear the police are picking people who are going to be discounted, said Richie. That girl was just trying to get attention. She brought it on herself. She trades S for a living. So what does she expect? Richie said, quoting excuses she's heard from officers. I don't know. I've seen reports from police officers or investigations where they describe people coming forward as the grumblings of prostitutes and junkies. And people tend to trust them and tend to believe them. In some cases, the abuse happens inside an agency. Well, look at the case in the military with the SA.
Yeah.
What was her name?
We just watched it.
I am Vanessa Guillen.
Yeah.
I am Vanessa Guillen. Have you seen that? She was essayed by 2 commanding officers and then unalived on an army base and then taken off that base and dismembered. this isn't, it's crazy. In 2000, and then was not investigated by the Army Special Investigations, Criminal Investigations Unit. Didn't even care until they were put on the spot. Marlena Cantu said, "Why didn't my super chat come up?" Did you see one?
I didn't see one. I just went back and looked too.
Yeah, I don't see it. I'm sorry, Marlena. Thank you though. If you thank you so much. I don't know. I don't see it. Do you see it?
Mm-mm.
It might have not went through.
Yeah, because
Let's see here. Okay, so is something wrong with this? Let me go look at something real quick before I've lost my spot.
you're
I got it.
yeah. You're at the
In 2019, a Denver police officer was fired for making pervasive, graphic, and sexually orientated comments toward an intern during a ride-along, referring to her as a whore, suggesting she get hair removal procedures for her genitalia, and offering to teach her CPR by performing mouth-to-mouth on her. Hiding behind authority is the next topic right here. This is important, guys. This is terrible. Hashtag payment went through. That's so weird. Marlena, I will look into that as soon as we get a chance. I'm sorry about that. I don't want anybody. Now, you know as well as I do, YouTube freaking controls how all that super chats and stuff are done. And they, believe me, they take their fair cut of everything. And not so fair cut.
Yeah.
That's what people understand. People are like, oh, they're just creator. Like so much they take a good 65 or 45. I can't remember which one of that.
It all evens out that they get 50% of everything that you make off of YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube gets 50%.
Yeah. But you know what? It could be nothing.
Yeah.
So we appreciate,
Absolutely.
we don't ask
know where
people to do that, but thank you.
I scrolled back as far as it would let me scroll. And
Did I
didn't
miss
see
it? I might have missed it, not
But I
paying
would've-
attention.
I had mine up though, and I was looking.
Oh, we'll figure it out. Anyway, so the next part's hiding behind authority. Thank you, Marlene. I'll look into that again. That makes me feel I don't like to see that anybody.
No.
Okay, so but often a predator in uniform can hide behind the cloak of authority. People let their guard down if they're newly friends or in a relationship with a police officer, and let their guard down with their young teenagers and giving more access to them than they would otherwise, said Stinson.
Right.
Not these parents.
No.
And not with my I will never, anybody. I don't care if you're a cop, you're a preacher, you're a doctor. I don't care what you are.
No.
I question everybody, and I have my eye on everybody.
Same.
So, domestic DV survivors are particularly vulnerable. What? She said, you think LE could be the cornbread mafia? You ever wonder why Dr. Phil even asked that question? Hey. I watched a video last night, and it was exposing Dr. Phil. And this guy named Sloan, he's a channel named Sloan. Go check him out. It's called Exposing Dr. Phil. Go look to the extent that Dr. Phil and producers will go for their stories. Going as far as giving, hold on, let me go back to full screen here. Even going as far as if somebody has substance abuse issues, as providing them with their substance of choice and getting them intoxicated or inebriated and then bringing them on the set and filming them like they came that way, setting it up, making it look like it's something it isn't. Hugs, Cam. I hear your passion. Thank you. I'm very passionate about this. As you know, I'm not even going to get attacked for it. People are, you told your story for it. It's not for attention. I am passionate to stop the people that do these things against people. No, I want y'all to watch that. Can you find that link to that video? I'll share it and I'll put it in the community section too. His channel is named Sloan. Is a very good video done. It's called Exposing Dr. Phil, Drugging, Exploiting, and
Found it.
you found it? She's going to share that to the chat right now. Yeah, Dr. Phil is no more in entertainment. He's not even a doctor. And wait till you hear. Yeah, Ange Carter, Allie's putting it down there right now.
Yes.
No, yeah, Sloan is a male. He lost his license. That's right. Hey, sweet sativa, good to see you. Ancient Gypsy Candace said her daughter was with a organization historically located in their area. Corner. Did she lie? I don't know. When did she say that? Ancient Gypsy. Where did she say that? And when did she say that? Because if she said that, I will dig. Y'all know I will dig. I will dig. But Bonnie Lambert, I didn't know when y'all see this that this channel did and this breakdown of Dr. Phil, he did his research, and y'all are going to be blown away at the things that he has done. I didn't know it was that bad. I just thought, yeah, that same thing, Marlena, I agree with you 100%. How did they know to even ask about Cornbread Mafia?
Yeah.
Why? Because it wasn't Candace and Don that brought it up. It was the behavior panel that brought it up. Not once, but twice.
Right.
They brought it up to Don first, didn't they?
Mhm. Yeah, whenever they came
To Tennessee.
to Kingsport, yeah.
Yeah, Lucas Cobb. She said, I watched the video that the other day. He has exposed a lot of Hollywood. I'm sorry, I don't know if I got gender right, Lucas, if you're male or female, but so please don't take me offensively. You've been with us for a long time.
Is female.
Lucas is a female.
Lucas is actually her grandson, I think.
Oh, okay. I don't want to ever offend anybody, and I know you've been with us for a long, long time. Okay. Did you share the link?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Let me finish reading this, and then we're going to get to the very end part, guys. An investigative report by the Philadelphia Inquirer found that officers used their perceived savior status. Woo, what a word. Their perceived savior status to elicit sexual favors from women already traumatized by spousal abuse.
Wow.
In 2014, according to an article by the Charlotte Observer. Now, I want y'all to see how many sources from all over the country that they're using in this. Charlotte, Buffalo, Philadelphia,
Everywhere.
Oklahoma,
New York.
on and on and on. By the Charlotte Observer, an Iredell County Sheriff Patrol officer was fired and the county forced to pay $475,000 $475,000 settlement to two women, both victims of domestic abuse, and seeking help, who accused the officer of continually propositioning and stalking them. The officer claimed that dating DV victims was like shooting fish in a barrel. Did you hear that? The officer claimed that dating DV victims was like shooting fish in a barrel.
Wow.
Shame on you, piece of
Yes,
shit, trash,
absolutely.
piece of crap. Police deliberately target victims of SV or domestic DB because they're vulnerable and they're people in need of help, said Ritchie. After 25 years of research on this, it's still shocking to me. Lack of training And while police departments around the country are publicly revamping their training programs and promoting de-escalation, conflict resolution, and more empathetic policing tactics in order to stem the flow of violent encounters between officers and civilians, training and policy on PSM is almost non-existent.
So they know it's a problem.
They know it's their
They know
number
it's-
one problem.
Right. They know that it's a part of their culture, as they so politely put it, but they are not doing anything about it to try to stop it.
The number one problem within law enforcement in the nation, and there is a non-existent policies or training on how to
What to do to deal with it or to fix it.
According to the Washington Post, a majority of U.S. police agencies have no official policies or training programs, making it clear that on-duty misconduct against civilians is prohibited. Stan Mason, host of the radio program Behind the Blue Curtain, says the lack of training at the academy and official guidance from the departments can have dangerous consequences when considering the myriad of potentially traumatizing and corruptive environments that newly inducted male officers will encounter on a daily basis. The biggest part of policing that the profession is not realizing is that you have to be mentally prepared, said Mason in an interview with TCR. A 25-year, hold on, let me get this out of everybody's way. And they don't keep child in jail there either. Yeah, you and NC, you just look the other way. It's true. Okay. A 25-year veteran of the Waco, Texas Police Department, Mason was part of the training process in his agency for nearly 15 years. He insists that despite recent changes and advancements in training, departments only teach recruits a rough overview of the job. One that focuses mostly on physical and tactical skills and fails to prepare them for what they're actually going to see once they're on patrol. I sent it to you in Messenger. Sent what? Lean on me. Are you not?
Where Candace?
Oh, okay. Where she said that? Oh, where she said that about a local historic organization. What? Okay, I'll check that out. Oh, yes, I do know about that. About this, the racist historical. Yes, I know what you're talking about. And I've even know. Do you remember? So we're going to get to that. The guy JLR was with Brandon when he talked about Wild Bill and them. I got to be very careful what I say, but he is allegedly part of the said organization, him and his brothers. So that's very concerning, seeing that Brandon, that was what JLR said, that Wild Bill had been up on the property, or he hadn't been. He went above and beyond to say he hadn't been. You know, I drank with them. You know, we've drank parties. That's what Brandon says, bragging about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot to know about that Mr. Man there. Yeah, I'm going to be very careful. But listen, I'm not scared of these trash ass people that do these things against children. I can't be. If you're going to stand, you know, if you don't stand up for something, you stand for nothing. And I would rather know at the end of my days and the end of my life that I did stand up for something and for people that otherwise don't have a voice or wouldn't have a voice or are scared to have a voice.
Right.
I'll talk about it. They've put me through hell talking about the certain kinds of officers who target people. I've been through that ringer, and I know that there's corruption and dirty individuals that hide behind a smiling face and a badge that are more evil than anybody could even imagine, and would do things that people would not even imagine. Cam, he didn't want to talk about the fire pit place. I know he didn't. And I'm going to say that again. If you don't stand for something at all, something in your life, if you don't stand up to the people who do it, you stand for nothing. And you got, if that's the price that I pay one day for speaking out, if people would choose to try to put harm on me or my family, they have a fight on their hands, I promise. And if it helps save one life or helps bring peace to one person's life that we can help them with, and we can talk and bring their story forward and maybe get justice for people, then that's doing something. I don't know. And sometimes you have to stand alone. It's true. Very true. Bonnie Lambert says, if you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything.
Exactly.
That's true. All right, I'm going to finish this article and we're going to move on to the ending part. We're going to talk about Miss JSB. All right, so every police department has a physical agility test, said Mason. But where are new officers' minds going to be at when they have that 6-year-old? Oh my gosh. But I'm going to start there. But where are new officers' minds going to be at when they have that 6-year-old who has been molested, or they're taking inappropriate pictures of victims because they have to document evidence? Are they prepared to handle that? According to discoverpolicing.org, while most police agencies require
recruit to be 21 by academy graduation date, some take cadets as young as 18. A majority of these young officers have very little life experience to fall back on when they enter a world that deals with violent crime, trafficking, domestic DV, child, and death on a daily basis.
I don't want that to think about. If we don't stand up for these children,
yeah, who will?
Who does? I'm sorry. And it's sad that we live in a time that the ones that take an oath to serve and protect us are the ones that we have to watch out for. I'm sorry. Says roots of misconduct. A profile of 2 newly graduated LAPD officers by the Los Angeles Times revealed that both officers felt their academy only prepared them for a job up to a point and failed to tackle real-life issues such as how to handle the adrenaline resulting from dangerous situations, or how to cope with the trauma of witnessing the often bloody results of violent crime. Over time, in order to protect themselves and do the job, many officers have to detach themselves from that world, said Mason. But some people don't have that shut-off valve. A 2015 study for the Walden University College of Social and Behavioral Science examining the effects of frequent exposure to violence and trauma on police officers found that the constant exposure to these elements can result in hyper-aggressive behavior, impulsivity, and overconfidence. Overconfidence. A 2018 report by the Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services states that police officers' work comes with a heightened risk of PTSD, which when left untreated can impair their mental well-being and lead to behavioral dysfunction such as substance abuse and aggression. For officers already walking the ethical and moral line, environmental effects such as these may only serve to push them even closer to the edge, especially when experienced with no official guidance, support, and restraint. Officers operate on the razor's edge. You have to know about wrong to catch wrong people, said Mason. So when you walk that line and your moral fabric and values aren't solid, it's easy to cross it.
Wow.
A 2017 survey of roughly 8,000 police officers conducted by the Pew Research Center found that more than half, 56%, said the job of policing made them more callous. Meanwhile, 7 in 10 officers, 72%, said that poorly performing officers are not held accountable. 72% said that. And while many departments have tried to meet this problem from developing and recruits with a field training officer FTO program, which assigns newly sworn in officers to a veteran who ideally steers them away from habits that violate the tenets of the profession. Mason warns that too often the veteran officers who are supposed to be their mentors can also turn out to be new officer enablers.
Right.
Thank you for saying it, Ken. A long time in therapy dealing with trauma. Unfortunately, even some therapists don't realize how widespread and how many police, doctors, etc. are involved. You're very welcome. We have to be more vocal about this. Thank you, ancient gypsy. She said, "No weapon formed against Cam and Allie shall prosper in Jesus' name." I also include Lord, anyone who is trying to expose these evil ones, including myself. Amen. I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank y'all for the support, and thank you. Y'all mean the world to us. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Listen here. Small Fry says, I ran from home at 16 because my dad tried to essay me. I never went back home. I'm so sorry. Kiss my grits. We're with you, Kim. Thank you, guys. So I didn't mean to break down like that, but this stuff really affects me. I was a young kid, and I know just in my family, I wasn't believed. So I can't imagine it happening from an officer and you trying to talk about it. Nobody will believe you. And they would make it a mission to make you look stupid and discredit you. I mean, what kind of world is it not taken serious? You think anybody would want to make it up on a cop, knowing that the retaliation they could face or will face? It's crazy. Nobody's going to make that up and risk that. I mean, I'm sure. I'm not going to say nobody. There's some crazy people out there do crazy things.
But the normal human beings.
I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say the normal. I'm going to say people that if this happened to, like it said, most don't even want to bring it up and talk
Right.
about it. So the ones that are strong enough to not even investigate what they're saying,
Yeah.
it's
Say
wrong.
it's unfounded and
So wrong. People often say that folks go to prison and just came out better criminals. What about the criminals that join the police force and not only get it better
yeah.
at victimizing, but get more enabled? True.
Exactly.
True. She said, I wish more people saw this. People are going to see this, and I encourage y'all, please, to share this live.
Yes.
Not for us, not for anything about me or Allie
No.
or this channel, but for the information and making people aware of this. Please share it. Share it to anybody. You just
Everybody.
put, please. I just want them to listen for a second. If you listen to this for a second, you're going to keep listening because there's so much information in this article.
This right here, I mean, it has terrified me. Terrified me. And any person who could be seen as weak, including females or elderly people or children especially, should be terrified by hearing this stuff. Because
It's true.
I mean, think about it. I have been pulled over before.
Yeah.
At nighttime or when it's dark, going to work in the morning.
Yeah.
What if you don't know that person that's pulling you over?
You don't. And what
And
if they
that's scary.
all they would have to do with a female that's by themselves to say,
Right.
put you in the car, put a female in the back seat of the car, and drive them wherever they wanted to, and do whatever they wanted to, and just say that they, because what do you think? What do most people think when they drive by and they see somebody getting put in handcuffs? They turn their head real fast,
Right,
or they're
'cause you don't want to be caught looking at.
yeah, but you don't question it
Right.
because you're like, oh well, the cops got him one.
Right.
So that means they already know that they can get away with it.
That's so...
Again, I'm not saying every officer.
No,
I'm not
not
talking
at all.
about all cops. I'm talking about the big percentile that we have in this nation that not only don't get held accountable, but can continuously do the same thing over and over again and are not held accountable and just have to move to a different law enforcement agency because they don't want to file the report. They just want to let them go and not have the stain on the agency.
Right.
It's crazy.
And you know what? The sad thing is, what they usually will say, they probably won't even say that they got fired, these people, whenever they do find out about it. They will probably say they resigned from their position.
Yeah. It's true.
Because I know for a fact that happens in large corporations.
Yeah. It's true.
They will give you the opportunity to, that way that you can still have your career.
It's true. It is.
And they said, I don't know. I just think it's very interesting that guy supposedly resigned from his position.
He didn't resign. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He probably
got caught.
That's what I'm saying. He was probably caught and was probably given the choice: either you resign or we fire you.
Yeah, we're talking. She's referring to Austin Edwards, the officer that did this in Riverside, California. We started out talking about. Let me finish this real quick and let's move on to the. I don't want to keep going and going and going.
I know we'll go on forever with this.
Yeah, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes already. All right. And while many departments have tried to meet this problem, I already read that. When you come out of the academy and you're with training officers, you have two types, said Mason. You have those that really committed to training people to survive and prepare, and you have those who want to be worshipped as gods. Worshipped as gods. This is a former officer for 25 years that is saying this. Those officers who want to be worshipped are the first ones to tell new officers to forget everything they learned at the academy and do the job their way, effectively creating more opportunities for misconduct and criminality. In fact, an analysis of police corruption by the Federal Bureau of Investigation Law Enforcement Training Bulletin reports that if left unchecked, this is the way we do it in this unit mentality can lead to a feeling of being untouchable, especially when coupled with the lack of strong leadership. The analysis added that the greater the length of time an officer is exposed to this socialization process, the greater its impact. A study of the link between field training officers, their trainees, and allegations of misconduct found that FTOs seem to have a statistically significant effect on their trainees' allegations of misconduct. In Washington, D.C., according to WUSA9.com, a Metro Police Department officer appealed his firing for aggressive searching practices that violated MPD rules and regulations on the grounds that the tactics used are common practice among officers on the street, and that veteran officers directly instructed him to perform them despite knowing they went against both academy training and department general orders. The profession is so ego driven, said Mason. They get with young officers. Yeah. They get with young officers and tell them they don't have to do this, don't have to do that. That's too much extra stuff. Don't worry about it. They instill these things in them and then send them out with other young officers without bothering to check how they're feeling and whether or not their heads are together. As a result, misconduct only spreads further. According to new research published in the journal Nature Human Behavior, for every 10% increase in the proportion of a police officer's peers with a history of misconduct, for instance, adding one allegedly misbehaving member to a group of 10, that officers' chances of engaging in misdeeds in the next 3 months rose by nearly 8%.
Wow.
This is exemplified by cities such as Chicago and Baltimore, where both police departments have displayed a penchant for violence and corruption that has spread like a disease from the officer to officer, with little successful efforts in place for containment and prevention. I'm going to read this right here, and then we're going to stop here. While public attention is drawn to the more popularized and visible police crimes of violence and corruption, police misconduct remains hidden in the ambiguities of the job. The majority of police officers' authorities and discretion is unsupervised. They are working alone, late at night, away from the public eye, said Tom Tremblay, founder and CEO of Tom Tremblay Consulting and Training. Oh, sorry, guys. I've tried to get through this. We need to be willing to have a courageous conversation in our profession on how to address and prevent PSM from happening. A retired chief of police from Burlington, Vermont, and the former commissioner of the Vermont Department of Public Safety, Tremblay now works as a national and international advisor and trainer specializing in prevention of SA, domestic DV, and dating violence. For police, prosecutors, advocates, higher education, the military, and the private sector. And while he agrees that the concepts of officer self-care, wellness, and resilience are most important to consider, especially in relation to the more corruptive aspects of the profession, Tremblay stresses that this is not enough to stop misconduct from occurring and could, in fact, distract attention from the real issue and officer's choice. We have to rectify. Hold on, guys. Sorry. All right. I lost my place. Damn. And while he agrees that the concepts of officer self-care, wellness, and resilience are important to consider, I just read that. We have to recognize that while the conditions of the job can be concerning, these are the choices that offenders make, said Tremblay. Officer. Sorry, guys. I had to lost my place. I was trying to finish this. I got to move on the next thing. I got to be done. This is so important, and I don't want to take it lightly. Let me just hit the key points right here. An article of Psychology Today states that people with criminal personalities are attracted to high voltage occupations like policing because the job provides a cover for them to do as they choose and misuse their position of authority to suit their own ends. I want to read this first part above that, though. It says, according to a report of violence and health by the World Health Organization, power, anger, dominance, and control are the main motivating factors for the R word. Offenders choose to abuse or take advantage of someone they see as less powerful. We don't want to lose sight of that. It says, oh my gosh. It says, provides a cover for them to do their own. It's like a drug, said Mason. They need a challenge. They need something different. They have to go to the next level. For Tremblay, one of the first steps in ending PSM is making sure these kind of men don't make it into the academy at all. We need to create hiring practices that address this issue. Background checks, polygraph tests, psych exams are all a routine part of police hiring, said Tremblay. But if they don't have a background, if they've never done anything, you're not going to find anything.
Exactly.
Psych evaluations, if they convince themselves, if they're snakes,
Yeah.
and they're chameleons is what they are, but they're snakes, and they convince themselves that they're not what they are. So they pass those things. It's ridiculous. But ensuring that we directly ask applicants about their behavior and beliefs on gender, race, SA, DV, as well as speaking to current dating partners, spouses, and asking specifically about DV and SA have to be a critical part of that testing also. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. In fact, the 2011 executive guide from the International Association of Chiefs of Police on addressing S offenses and misconduct by law enforcement states that to recruit and hire individuals with the highest standards of integrity, departments must combine medical, psychiatric, psychological, polygraph, and integrity testing, detailed personal interviews, and thorough background investigations that include a review on social networking websites.
Exactly.
That's what that right there would have stopped Austin Edwards.
Right. It would have stopped
That
a bunch of
three
people.
people's lives would have been saved, and a young girl who was probably groomed and brainwashed from this. We could have prevented this.
Right.
But he worked at Lowe's and worked at Walmart. He knew how to obviously interact with the public, interact with people, and he was able to slither his way right into the highest Virginia state agency there is. You know, he's up there near Washington, D.C. He's up there where there's a lot of important people they protect. He's right. He's able to slither right in there. Yeah, redacted static. Can you share that link to that video, please?
Yes.
If you have a wrench, you can share the links in the chat, mods. Thank you. Rebel with a Shih Tzu says, I love your determination and passion. I listen to very few channels. I listen to y'all the most and share your content with everyone I can. Thank you so much. G Crime AU says, curious how the hell did CB keep all four Wells kids. What do you mean for as long as she did? That's the thing that really is makes you wonder. There was not an issue till, right, that we know of. We knew that about her 2 previous children that she gave up the rights to in Wisconsin. But we'll get to that, guys. I think I'm done here on this part. We have to really work hard not to hire the individuals who's going to use the power and authority of the police in an abusive way, said Tremblay. The second thing we need to do is make sure our code of conduct and standards are very clear, that new hires know that any behavior of this nature is completely out of line with the ethics of this profession and will not be tolerated. All right. That's it for that. All right. Guys, sorry if I missed any comments. I really apologize. I had to get through that.
Share what she said right here, because we know for 100% fact that is 100% true.
This is yes. Dash cams in your cars and film cops keep it. So what she's saying is keep a dash cam in your cars and film cops at all times. They have body cams, but mute and cut them off. This is so true.
That 100%.
I know. It happened to me twice. First, they tried to say that the footage cut out at the exact moment where they tried to set my ass up. And I said, I'm taking it to trial. I don't give a shit what you say. You better find it and you better make it work, because I'm taking it to trial and I'm fighting it. Guess what happened? Charges dismissed.
Yep.
What was the other one?
The other one that muted out at the exact
Oh, and then the one the cop said, you're a piece of shit. You'll always be a piece of shit.
He didn't have his turned on.
He didn't have his turned on conveniently. And I was was actively a certified substance abuse counselor and had worked my ass off at changing my life. And this cop targeted me. I'm profiling, dirty as hell. Be careful. Hold them accountable. Film them even when they tell you not to film them, because you never know. And the ones that have nothing to hide will not care that you're filming them.
Right. Exactly.
They will not care. And we know that for a fact. I walked right down from my home and there was 2 officers conducting an investigation. I filmed them, and the person that they were investigating had a huge problem with me filming it. But now it's to her. I didn't even have the camera on. Just wanted to see what would happen.
Just wanted to see what the cops would say.
Wanted to see what the cops would do.
And they were fine with
it. They said he can do whatever he wants as long as he's not interfering with the investigation. He can film anything. I was so blown away by his response, because I had lost faith in all law enforcement. But I hope that the more that we do hold them accountable and the more that people do speak out, it's sad that they have the ability to mute them cameras and turn them on when they feel the need to. Them things should run 24/7 while they're on shift. And if they complain that they don't have enough battery or the budget, they don't have enough SD cards and all, but shut the hell up. And your budget can afford a damn SD card, and you better fill them things up for a 12-hour shift. Okay, so now I'm going to share Dazed and Confused video real quick. We're going to get to the part. So last night in Jody Sue Brown's live, again, everything is used under fair use. Everything we talk about is protected under fair use. Jody Sue Brown is a content creator. Yes. She chose to come on a public platform. She chooses to talk on said platform. So don't get mad when people say your name and talk about the shit you said on your channel. I'm sick and tired of people saying that people can't do that. I mean, think about it logically. To her 7 people over there that love the ground she walks on, I'm sorry, but she's wrong. We can talk about it. Now, Let me pull this video up real quick.
I'll read what Days just said.
I'm uploading a new video cracking cases. JSB said she's giving you a cease and desist and an order of protection. Oh, I guarantee you, I bet she is. We have not even really said anything about her yet. She needs, oh my gosh. Have at it. You're on a public, there it is right there. Oh, excuse me, Madam Jody Sue. Where's the one that we wanted to?
Oh, click on.
Oh, Danielle's doing a live. Upcoming. Good job. Proud of you, Danielle. If you
Yes,
said
that's
thank you.
awesome.
All right. So let me share this video real quick. This from Days. All right, here we go. Let me clear this off the screen so y'all can see this. All right, here we go, guys. I want to let you know, Jody Sue, we haven't been talking about you for a damn good reason because nobody wants to give you attention. But last night you were triggered. And I'm sorry, ma'am. We are allowed to talk about what you do on your channel as you are a public YouTube creator, which we are under fair use able to criticize, comment, remark, whatever it is. I'm not going to go over the whole Fair Use Act, but the simple fact that people that sit over there are fooled when she says that people can't talk about her, that she is a witness. Woman, you a damn suspect, and you have been. They ain't cleared you, ain't cleared anybody. And the way you were triggered last night by somebody in the chat bringing up a vehicle that nobody has ever even heard about is very, very alarming. We'll get to that. Let's finish going over this, though, with this. Thank you, Dazed. That's awesome. It's true, though. That's true. Very, very true. Whoa. Whoa. No, we're not watching that.
No.
Hold on a second. Let me go back and find this other video. What is going on over there? What in the hell? Okay. Attempt number 3, LOL. Her live says to us. She's over here watching with her. Thank you. You are on a public platform, you idiot. You cannot say that people can't tag you, say your name. What do you understand? That you are on a platform that is publicly watched by everybody. Just because you block everybody doesn't mean they can't still watch it when you're publicly streaming. Doo-doo. Dumbass alarm. Come on, man. Excuse me, guys, for getting... I've just had enough of that crap from her. Here we go. Let me see if I can find this other video. Days did.
Called I Love Cake.
Look, where's her channel?
Go up here.
And I used the and, and I didn't use the and symbol. Sorry, Dave.
And go take out that space right there.
Where?
Before. No. This one.
This one?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like that? Where are you? No. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. Where is it?
Lordy.
No.
Here, just go back.
I got this.
Okay. It looks like it.
I believe I've got it.
I love cake, she says.
I love cake. Well, that's the person's name was
Yes.
in the chat last night. I thought it was funny. What was the something bacon mama?
Yeah.
Whoever that was firing off last
job.
night, and I was like, wow. Oh, by the way, don't put out your little cease and desist when you were. Let's show that when you were texting whoever, I'm sorry, I don't know if it was you or not, Miss
Somebody.
Brown, but somebody pretending to be you from a 423 Tennessee number says, Cam, this is Jody. Are you busy? Like I'm going to answer it. And hell no. And I reported it as junk because that's what it is. Junk. All right. You found it?
There's one 5 minutes ago.
There's the one. We'll watch that real quick.
What, that one?
Yeah, hold on. Let me see it because I have to be able to share it real fast before it.
Yeah.
So anyway, the whole reason we're going to talk about this topic is somebody came in our chat last night and brought up a red or maroon Lincoln Navigator. She immediately said, "You just doxed the vehicle." She flipped out. And I was like, you share your mother's truck. You share pictures of it. You talk about any other vehicle, the yellow Xterra. You talk about all that.
But this one is doxing.
This one's doxing, and this is a big, big damn problem. Something's going on.
And she grabbed that bottle of liquor too.
Boy, yeah. Besides that, the fact that she was drinking liquor on her live last night. Boy, getting brave, are we, Miss JSB? And this live is definitely not about you. That's why I saved you for the little turd at the end to talk about. You can say cease and desist all you want. You can't do that. You might have gotten away with threatening other people with that. I know the terms of service agreement, and that's not a problem.
Right.
This, again, under Fair Use Act of 1976, right?
I believe so, yes.
I believe, and that's off the top of the head. We will read the description real quick.
I am. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
And if you want to say we ain't teaching, we're teaching people how
well, we're commenting.
We're that, but we're teaching people how full of crap you are.
Exactly.
And how triggered you get over certain things. So we'll teach that, and we'll comment, and we'll criticize, and we'll research. Yeah. All the above.
All the above.
Here we go. To talk about what you do on your channel as you are a public YouTube creator, which we are under fair use able to criticize, comment, remark, whatever it is. I'm not going to go over the whole Fair Use Act, but the simple fact that people that sit over there are fooled when she says that people can't talk about her, that she is a witness. Woman, you a damn suspect, and you have been. They ain't cleared you, they ain't cleared anybody. And the way you were triggered last night by somebody in the chat bringing up a vehicle that nobody has ever even heard about is very, very alarming. We'll get to that. Let's finish going over this, though, with this.
That's so funny.
That was good. I can't wait to see the next one you do. Please clip that. I had
We
to,
love you. That's
we do.
awesome.
I had to wild out on that one. Woo! All right. Let's see what else you got here. We're gonna go over one more because we have to go what was said.
So I want to run over and tell Cammy's getting ready.
Oh, whatever.
It's right there.
Okay.
Up.
I'm finding it. Which one?
Right there.
This one. I love cake. Here we go. Let me get to that screen.
Screenshot every fucking and go back to their fucking profile.
I have to be very careful because I can get copyright strike because of the music played in it. But so I think I can. I don't know. Let me see what she says. I will read it. I done get. I'm already gonna get one for the first song, but I had to dance. It was on. All right.
They said I can upload a new one.
It's all well, it doesn't matter. Oh, there's the bottle of liquor in all its glory. What are you drinking there? Jose? What you got? Watch it be some old knockoff. What is it? Some juice. Let me see here. What's that say? Olive oil. You drinking some extra virgin olive oil over here?
Maybe. Olive oil.
Oh, olive oil from Popeye. Oh, never mind. I better shut up. Let's move forward here. Let's see what we find. The music plays all the way through. Yeah, I'm going to try to just find anyway, I think I can take care. I think I can take over. I'm already going to get struck on the first one, so it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, so what was brought up last night was basically this. That person, Cake Baking Mama, came in and said, what about the red Lincoln Navigator? She lost her crap. And oh man, Days, if you got that clip, I wanted people to see just how triggered.
Yeah.
But that's not.
She said, give me 2 minutes.
She's got it. All right. All jokes aside, all being crazy and goofy things aside, where have you been hiding said vehicle if it belongs to you? One, we're asking questions. I don't know.
Why?
Why has this vehicle never been mentioned? Who drives said vehicle?
Hey, Scott H.
And why? Hey, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, Scott H. We're really at the end here. I'm only giving Miss JSB
25 over here.
JB 25. I'm only giving her a third of a second to talk about.
25 seconds.
And we're waiting for Days to get that. Yeah.
She said she was gonna move her camper.
with the Lincoln Navigator. Question. Did the police know about this vehicle? Is that why you freaked out? Is this new information for the police to know about having said vehicle? Is this involved in some type of way? These are all valid questions, but I already know your answer. I don't have to answer nothing for YouTubers because I don't have to do nothing for YouTube.
I'm a witness.
Sure went, no, madam.
You're a suspect.
We heard it firsthand from the sheriff's department when asked. It was recorded by Squall. Second,
Sorry.
I hope and pray that if they don't know about it and it means something, that they take it seriously, investigate it, and if it can bring answers to Summer's case, that it does, and people are brought to justice for any wrongdoing. The time is now. It's been long enough. Let's not let this child's case go cold. Tired of the games, tired of the bullshit. The whole beginning of this live was on the corruption. So that's the problem we're facing now is the law enforcement that we've seen corruption come from. Are they going to take anything seriously, especially something like that? Questions. File your cease and desist all you want. Report all you want. I will report back because you said my name. It's not about that. Let's be adults. Let's quit pointing the finger at everybody else thinking that they're attacking you. Like nobody got time for that. Nobody has the time to listen to you ramble BS all day. We just want answers for this child, not you. It's not about you. It wasn't about your story to begin with. It wasn't about anything that has to do with you. It's about Summer. So stand up and tell the damn truth. Okay. She's got it uploaded.
Yeah.
Let's watch this real quick, guys.
I'm so sorry, Daisy. I thought you were already a mod, but you are now.
Hurry up. Are you okay over there?
No, I've not been okay for days.
Yeah, I haven't heard you coughing like that. Not like that.
Okay. Well,
Okay, is that it?
yeah.
Yeah, 36 seconds ago. Okay, we got it right here. So I was muted. So I'm going to pause that right quick. So Cake Baking Mama says Red Tahoe or Red Navigator. Cake Baking Mama says Jody knows. Cake Baking Mama then says, wow, a threat? No way. Cake Baking Mama said, what happened? Question mark. Then Cake Baking Mama says, I also gave the timeline to Netflix already. Whoa. Hold on. Let's keep going. I'll mute out when we get to the there's Dave's link right there. If people can share her link in the chat, go check her out.
The fuck? Where the hell did Cake come in? Screenshot every fucking thing and go back to their fucking profile. Oh, you bet I do, Cake. No, it's a family member's vehicle. Good going, Cake. You clearly just doxed another fucking vehicle and are directing terror upon the family.
Oh, shit.
And obviously, with that shit, you're stalking or you're connected with little stalkers over here on YouTube. And I'm going to take that as exactly what the fuck it is tonight. Well, that's good. I'll be giving your information to the police tomorrow, Kate. So I'm glad you decided to do that.
Oh, no, hold on. Scott said, oh, okay, she gonna take her a drink. You gonna take you a drink, Jody? I'll get you a drink. She gonna turn up. Y'all get ready. Jody gonna turn up. Gonna take her a drink. Yeah.
Pissing all the right Cheerios tonight, huh? Okay.
Woo!
Don't say my name. Don't do it. And I'll tell you right now.
Say my name when no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. If you ain't playing, I don't know the words to that part. If you ain't running games, say my name, say my name. Here you go, Jody. Said your name. Continue.
You coming in here tonight. You realize what the fuck you're facing by doing that, right? And what you just did. You think you're safe behind that fucking chat name, huh? You think you can't be found, located, your information, you can't be fucking doxxed, located by police, by feds? Are you a whole bunch of fucking stupid? Or is that just me? I'll tell you, whoever you're playing foreign with, it ain't worth what you just did. And if any of you ever think that the feds don't have our devices live in real time and eyes on them and all the bullshit around, you're especially kind of stupid. And I will tell you that the feds tell us each and every time that our shit pretty much is. Y'all have no fucking clue, but you're fucking stupid to think anybody around any missing child's case is not being monitored. You can make yourselves.
And that's you, number one, because you were around the missing child case. People might have come in to do interviews. People might have, and that's all fine and dandy. Look into those people. So what? But madam, your phone, your devices are the ones that have the messages that don't add up, that don't make sense. The ones that people question. And we found one on your live. As much as people tried to twist that for you and make that something it wasn't, madam, you were the one who said you didn't go walk your dogs when news heard, when clearly you said it in your own text and we showed it. Then you tried to say, oh, you fabricated a text message. How the hell do I fabricate a text message that you uploaded?
Yeah, you uploaded it.
Wow.
Or nobody would have ever had it.
You gotta be a special kind of stupid. Or something, whatever she says. Wait, you're so vain. You're so vain. You probably think this is live. It's song is about you. Ooh, okay, I'm done. Here we go.
Feel better about all you want with the but I'm telling you it is. And when you are tampering with witnesses and those around the case, and you are clearly admitting to stalking, terrorizing, tampering with, harassing them for yourself, your own crazy needs of these goddamn creators. This ain't the drama community, y'all. Y'all are not fucking with average individuals over there, right? That's bad enough, right? You are not just randomly bullying, dramaing, entertainment having over on some fucking drama community with some other random asshole in the universe. You are literally doing so to witnesses in a missing child case. People around a missing child's case. You are also doing so to witnesses and victims of these tragedy pits and their crimes. So about 9.
Does that list, do they have a charge for asking a suspect a question? Is that a charge? I think not.
10 different levels.
You gotta be a special kind of stupid. You whole ass stupid. Or this is whatever she says. Here we go.
You are fucking up.
That's good. That was good. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that. All jokes aside. Oh, where'd I go? All jokes aside. Is this something? Who knows? I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to keep our eyes and ears open. Just know now people are paying attention again. Don't mess it up again, Tommy. No, not many people are paying attention again, but people are paying attention again. Hopefully the right people with a badge are paying attention to the things you say, and they know about that vehicle. The fades, as you say it.
Yeah.
All right. You know, no, all jokes aside, I stand behind them finding out what happened this summer. Hopefully they will, because TBI and Hawkins County, I can't say anything good for. Guys, if you liked us tonight, if you found this show was informative and that, you know, you learned something, all we ask is put your touch DNA on that like button, share this video, make people aware of the corruption and the statistics that we showed here tonight. That is all we wish. Thank you again, each and every one of you guys, for being here. Oh, congratulations, Dave. She said you guys may not see me tomorrow. I start my new job.
I was getting ready to say congratulations and good luck.
Well, we pray that it goes amazing.
Yes.
For you. We ask that just continue to keep us in your prayers. Pray for Summer. Pray for the children. that are missing. Let's get answers to all these cases. Let justice be served. Let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you for what you do in our lives. Thank you for loving us when we don't deserve to be loved, when we don't give you the attention that you so deserve. Thank you for the breath you put in our lungs. Thank you for the love you put in our hearts for one another. Thank you for the loved ones that we have in our lives. God, we ask that these children that are not going to be at the table for Christmas and didn't miss the Thanksgiving, that God, you put peace in those families' hearts. And Lord, we ask that bring a child home for Christmas. That's the best present that any family could ask for that is missing a young small child, a grown adult child, a husband, a brother, a sister, a whatever the case may be. Lord, we ask that somebody, multiple, if we could have our way, but God, it's in your time. We ask that you just bring answers to these missing cases, Lord. Thank you for everything you do in our lives, Lord, and let us just continue to turn to you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Thank you guys again. Remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice.
But justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate.
That's right. Till next time, we love y'all. We appreciate it. I know it was late tonight. We're going to try to get earlier in the days. I tried to be, believe it or not, did not succeed. But that's what it's like when you have children and a family.
Well,
and
yeah, our schedule changed up today too. So
that's right. All right, guys. Till next time, keep on cracking. See something, say something. What else is there? If you're struggling with any kind of not knowing how to speak out against somebody who has committed a S kind of crime towards you, there's so many hotlines. I don't have the one up. I meant to save that number today so that I could post it on here. There are people that will help. And if you need help, reach out to us. An email will point you in the right direction. God bless each and every one of y'all. Again, like I said, remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice.
but justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate.
That's right. We love y'all. Again, till next time, keep on cracking. God bless.